Continuing on our Table Talk sub-series, hashtag Ace Queen's the thing. Here's another Ace Queen hand I wanted to show you, Grant. This time we're going to be in middle position. We are playing 25 cent, 50 cent on clubs poker, as we often are. And I want to show you this hand, get your take on it. Probably there's going to be some interesting decisions in it.
It is the only Ace Queen hand that we've ever done.
It falls to us in the hijack. We raise with it 2.5 blinds. We get called by the cutoff, who is pretty short, and we also get called by the big blind. Okay, so we've got over 200 blinds in our stack. So does the big blind, but the cutoff has like 75 blinds in their stack. We have ace of spades, queen of clubs. The flop is going to come out a beautiful 8-3-3 with 2 spades.
That's a bit of an overstatement. Like, it's nice to have 2 spades, but it's not.
It's beautiful because the 3s sort of look like the 8 a little bit. You know, if you like fill in the 3s, you like the 3 8s sort of.
Yeah, you enjoy the rendering of the cards.
I do.
I see.
I do. Very beautiful. So anyway, the big blind is first to act here. There's four in the pot, and they're just going to lead immediately for a min bet. That's 50 cents into this four sweeps coins pot.
Well, this is the same player that bet 50 cents with the nuts against you on the river in a previous table talk. It doesn't mean that they always have a nutted hand.
Different spot, but they did min bet that other time and had the nuts. It is true.
But we have the ace of spades, and we're just not folding for 50 cents. I don't think we necessarily should raise, but we're not folding. Agreed.
It'd be insane to fold right now. They often don't have. It'd be really weird for them to have trip 3s. It's not impossible. We get a call from the guy right behind us as well, the cutoff. So we have 3 ways going to the turn. There's 5.5 in the pot, and the turn is a very nice queen of diamonds. So now we suddenly make top on this 8-3-3 queen board, 2 spades, 2 diamonds. So our fortunes have improved, it seems. We hope.
We have outs against everything except for 3-3, so that's nice.
Yep. Every 2 weeks, we have a special Poker Guys Mystery Bounty Tournament on Clubs Poker. Come play, try and knock us out. There's money involved. It's great.
There is money involved, and there's more money for you when you use the code POKERGUYS when you sign up, because there is a 100% deposit bonus. Sign up today. Mysteries await.
And now the guy who led checks. So that seems good.
Yeah, I mean, let's charge the draws. Let's try to get a little bit of value out of 8s. Sounds good to me. Let's bet 5.5 in there. There's 2 flush draws, three players. I want to go 4. 3.5 to 4.
I'm guessing I'm going to bet a little less than that to try and keep the 8s in, but let's see. I'm thinking probably more like half pot. Yep, I bet exactly half pot. I know myself pretty well here. We get a call from the cutoff. So hope he doesn't have quads, hashtag. And the big blind, I believe, is going to call as well. Yep. So now we're going to the river. There's 14 in there. We're still very, very deep with the big blind, and the cutoff has 34. The river is the magical 5 of diamonds. So we've gone backdoor diamonds. Not for us,
salesperson.
I don't know.
Yeah, backdoor diamonds get there.
Yeah, but that's all. We have ace queen on this 8-3-3 queen 5 board. Diamonds are there, nothing else, and they're backdoor. The big blind.
8x of diamonds. 8x of diamonds makes a lot of sense.
It does. Agreed. The big blind decides to check once again. What do you want to do?
This is tricky. I'm concerned that we will not get called by any weaker hands unless we bet really small. Yeah. And is that even worth it? Versus, checking, and sometimes if everybody checks, we probably win unless the big blind was planning on check raising.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's not like we have an amazing hand. It's just pretty good. So, yeah, I'm inclined to check. If we're going to bet, I want to bet something like 4 or less into 13.75 to try to get a crying call out of an 8 or somehow a queen X of spades.
Yeah, that would be, targeting the queen X of spades is pretty good if you're going to do it. I like that. I was really sort of back and forth, I think, between checking and betting. I ultimately decided to check for the reasons you're talking about. I want to give spades a chance to bluff behind me. I'm very worried about getting called by anything. Like, how is an 8 supposed to call me when there's 2 other players in the hand? It seems hard. I guess you're right. The queen X of spades will call, probably. But also, I could be losing here. I could be
Of course.
just putting money in to lose and don't love that either. So I check, and the cutoff is finally going to take an aggressive action, and it's going to bet 9.5 into 13.75.
Okay. Well, let's see what the big blind does before we make any decisions here.
That's a great idea. I can tell you the big blind is not going to stick around. The big blind's going to fold.
Okay.
So here it is.
Well, I think this hand is just a little bit too good to fold. You never know what players are going to show up with. It could easily be miss spades that they're turning into a bluff.
Yep.
I don't think it's an 8. Maybe Queen X of spades feels emboldened. They're overvaluing that a little bit.
Maybe. King, queen of spades.
Yeah, I mean,
might decide to bet. Maybe. When checked.
Yeah, if
not impossible.
I think if they don't have any of those hands, they're most likely holding is 8-8, because they just were like trying to get somebody else to put more money in the pot, and they finally realized they have to do the betting themselves on the river.
They
So,
could also
yeah, I
have
think
a
they-
3.
They could have a 3, but I
3-4,
think a 3 is a
3-5,
lot more
ace-3.
likely. A 3 is a lot more likely to raise on a 2 flush draw board than a full house. So I think 8-8 is their most likely value holding. If they have a value holding that beats us, that's not 8-8. It could be backdoor diamonds. Could be 8-9 of diamonds, something like that. That makes a lot of sense too. When everybody checks on the river. So yeah, I think we're losing a fair amount of the time, but we also can't fold. That's how it feels.
The good news is it's 9.5 to win 23.25, so it's okay if we're losing a fair amount of the time, right? We just have to be winning somewhat of the time. We're good here. So I do make the call with ace queen. Feels like a no-brainer call to me for all the reasons you just said. And he turns over ace 5 with the ace of diamonds.
That is whack.
Yeah, so he called the flop because it was a min bet and I just called. So I guess he just decided to close action and call. And he called the turn, I think, so he could make this bluff if a diamond came. The diamond came and it didn't work anyway, which has got to really suck for him.
Yeah.
Really, really suck for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. That's not a hand I had him on. That's for sure.
Me either. I thought it has to be spades when I win.
Probably shouldn't have called pre-flop. You know, and it wasn't in a blind. So, oh well.
Could have lost $0 in this one. Probably should.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's why you got to use distribution. You know, that's part of, not the only reason, but part of why you got to use distribution. Like, it felt like we were losing a lot, but we're like, you know, I'm too high up in my range to fold, so I got to make this call. And sometimes they show up with something you don't expect, and that's a benefit of distribution for sure.
It's nice.
Tired of being tired of being sick. In my head 24/7, how I'm supposed to pay the rent. Missing practice, I don't play. Friday nights we on the bench, trying to come up with a play. If it don't work, then hit a lick. So if knocking at my door, praying ain't tell. I'm studying her word prayer. Baby excel, got away with way too much. Should've got expelled, but the school saw my potential. Smart kid trying to rebel. Yeah.